What does the term biodiversity-friendly mean to you? Can you think of examples of biodiversity-friendly agriculture? Biodiversity underpins all of our economies and societies, and nature and its biodiversity is our most precious asset. So look out across the fields and farms, and look across your landscapes. Biodiversity-friendly agriculture can take place across any of these levels. Biodiversity-friendly approaches can be applied to crop and livestock production, forestry, fisheries, and even aquaculture. These may occur on genetic or farm levels, or in terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems, or even during food and agro-industrial processes. Some examples of biodiversity-friendly approaches include using diverse varieties of indigenous crops, agroecology, mixed species and multifunctional fields and farms, or agroforestry and circular systems. So having said all of this, what does this actually look like on the ground? Diverse production systems can pave the way for secure farm livelihoods and improved health and diets through stable and diverse outputs, all while supporting and conserving biodiversity and ecosystem services. They may also be applied at an ecosystem and landscape level to harness the spatial synergies across various ecosystems and land or sea uses. Diverse agricultural landscapes create a mosaic of interacting ecosystems and land uses. For example, ecological corridors and habitat provision supports wild biodiversity. In turn, this biodiversity supports pollination, water and soil provision, and many other ecosystem services that enable agricultural production. By integrating and enabling biodiversity-friendly approaches at all levels, we can fundamentally transform agriculture for the better. But this is something that must begin with our environmental policy, and we must examine and apply policy instruments which can encourage the mainstreaming of such biodiversity-friendly approaches at a national level. Keeping this in mind, let's take a closer look at examples of sustainable forest management and ecosystem approaches to fisheries. Sustainable forest management aims to balance social, cultural, ecological, and economic interests. It recognizes that forests provide multiple uses and therefore multiple benefits to a variety of actors. Turning to the coasts and oceans, ecosystem approaches to fisheries also strive to find this balance. The challenge, as always, lies in how we balance each interest. Trade-offs often occur between economic considerations, local livelihoods, long-term conservation, and the sustainability of biodiversity. Despite this, we must always recognize the fundamental role of ecosystem functions and interactions across a range of levels. Ultimately, well-managed landscapes can achieve multiple objectives. Landscapes are shaped by the way we interact with biodiversity, and combining traditional knowledge with modern techniques is promising new frontiers for biodiversity-friendly and sustainable land use. To achieve all this, we need to bring together diverse stakeholders to work towards sustainable landscapes, as they can address potential trade-offs and negotiate conflicts on use rights. Today, the only way to feed ourselves sustainably is if we recognize the value and fundamental role of biodiversity and how it ensures productive and resilient agriculture. At the end of the day, all biodiversity-friendly approaches are fundamentally based on diversity, and policymakers should enable, strengthen, and encourage these approaches across all sectors. So let's strive to diversify measures of success in agriculture, to bring together diverse actors, and to develop policy instruments and incentives to support this diversity. This process can be started by mainstreaming biodiversity across agriculture, but must be taken across industries and sectors, involving all stakeholders for truly just and transformative change. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started.